Yes, and welcome back to the podcast episode. I think this is episode 10. Gosh. I'm enjoying doing this podcast. Actually, I don't know. I know this is not gonna blow up and become a big Eurovision podcast in the future, but I do this for entertainment, enjoy, and to sit down and kiki and do some analysis and Eurovision gossip and more. And there's a lot of stuff going on in Eurovision world actually, and we are just heading towards August. But before that, if you enjoy this podcast, please subscribe to the YouTube channel so you don't miss out on the next podcast episode. I try to do once a week, Friday or Saturday. I was planning to do one yesterday, but I was so exhausted after work. Fridays, I may be 36, but Fridays are never the day for me. So I was like, I do it tomorrow on Saturday. Anyway, and click on the notification bell so you don't miss out on the next up and coming episodes. There are major stories going on, but we can start lightly. It is only like 9:30 in the morning here, but we are now knowing that we have at least 23 countries participating in Eurovision next year in Vienna, with Iceland as the latest country to announce that they are going to participate. That means we have so far, if everyone is confirmed, Albania, Austria, Azerbaijan, Cyprus, Denmark, Finland, Germany, Greece, Israel, Latvia, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Malta, Montenegro, the Netherlands, Norway, Serbia, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, Ukraine, and the United Kingdom. And yeah, speaking of United Kingdom, where is that photo again? Me and finding stuff. The band let's see if I have the screenshot left. I have it. Yeah, this band Remember Monday did an interview with Lewis Wyatt on the Gay Dio, and they had top picks for who they thought should represent United Kingdom next year in Eurovision, and these were 4 different random people, but one of them has been in the circles for participating for the UK in years. We have the legendary the British Got Talent singer Susan Boyle, who is an icon. She will be forever an icon. Do I think she should do Eurovision? No, I don't think she should do it. Susan Boyle is an icon, but Eurovision for her, Paul Potts, we know him. I think he won the British Got Talent season. He's an opera singer. Opera is very tricky, and do we need a third song for Eurovision with opera? Nah. Maybe, Paul Potts can come in like 5 to 10 years for Eurovision to participate for the United Kingdom. Because I think at this moment people are very exhausted by opera stuff, because we have 2 winners back to back who had opera singing style. And then we have Jade. I don't know much about her. Then we have the drag queen Bimini, who I know from Drag Race UK season 2. I think Bimini is most famous for that Snatch Game performance as Katie Price. As the eyes of the nipples are the eyes to the face, and you have gorgeous nipples. I love that quote. So yeah, I don't think Susan Boyle and Paul Potts are very optional for the UK at the moment. I think Bimini would be fun because I love drag. I love drag queens, and I think we have not had a drag queen performance in Eurovision since 2007. Denmark had one, and of course the Verka Serduchka, most famous for drag queens. But other than that, we have the pilots. We have the Stewart sisters from Slovenia, but that's pretty much it. So I think we need to have a new drag act. So I would say Jade or Bimini would be fun options for the United Kingdom. At this point, the United Kingdom can send whatever they want, and everyone will be like, yes, how fun. Let's do a little quick break. Be right back. Yes, I'm back. And before we talk about the more major stories, I'm gonna say we are now heading towards Junior Eurovision in Tbilisi in 2025 so far, and the countries, we have 18 countries confirmed. So I know I have not talked about Albania's song. It has been out for like months, but it feels I'm gonna do Albania's song when we have the next song, when we have song number 2 out. And I know I have not talked about Eurovision at all this week because I've been tired this week. This is one of those weeks when you're so exhausted, you know, you want to do stuff, but in your mind you'll be like, no, I pass. But anyway, for Junior Eurovision, I know that has Finland ever been in Eurovision once? Because I don't think Finland has ever been in Eurovision ever, because like I said in my short video, I recall years ago when I read something that Finland doesn't want kids in music competition. I don't know if that was a quote or not, but it was something like that. So it was like when they announced on Instagram that Finland would not take part in Junior Eurovision, I was like, well, no, they have never been in Junior Eurovision ever. So, but we have for Tbilisi, we have Albania, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Croatia, who's returning, Cyprus, France, Georgia, Ireland, and Italy, Malta, Montenegro, the Netherlands, Macedonia, North Macedonia, Poland, Portugal, San Marino, Spain, and Ukraine. So basically we have a pretty big Junior Eurovision lineup. So I think that is actually very, very fun. And before we talk about the big up and coming conflict in the Eurovision universe, let's have a sip. I have a Red Bull or a Power King here. I need a sip before I continue talking. Oh, I need those. I'm gonna say we talked about one of the major stories for this week has been about Eurovision Asia. But it's not happening. Earlier this week, according to Asian Vision Net on Instagram, Bhutanese broadcaster BBC, not BBS, announced Eurovision Asia will take part in Mumbai. Another broadcaster, the Vietnamese network HTV, allocated a time slot for a show called Eurovision Asia on August 23rd. But that's tomorrow. In a statement with the Eurovision Trip podcast, director of the Eurovision Song Contest, Martin Green, confirmed that the contest has not been authorized. While it's no secret we love to see an edition of the Eurovision Song Contest in Asia, no plans has been confirmed or announced to date. So yeah, that ended well. But yeah, so I would love to see Eurovision Asia timeline. And I would love to see, I would love to see, because we have seen so many stories about we will have a Latin America version of Eurovision, we will have the Canada's version of Eurovision one day, and of course many people in the comment section would love to see an Africa version of it, and I would love to see an Africa version of Eurovision one day, because I think that would be so much fun, because I think the cultural, the music, the vibe, the colors, I think that would be a big deal. So yeah, Eurovision Asia apparently was just a rumor, but a nice rumor, because I think Eurovision Asia would be so fun. But we'll have to keep an eye on that one, because they said that Mumbai, it will take place in January next year, in 2026, if I read the news stories right. So we have to keep an eye on that one. But yeah, we have seen, I'm gonna say, I have not made a secret of this. I want to see like Olympic Games version of this, of Eurovision one day, or like the world's Eurovision one day, that we have we have like a Eurovision for each continent, and then the top 5 from each continent we battle it out in the ultimate finals later on, like 5 from the US, 5 act from North America, 5 from act from South and Latin America, Africa, Europe, Asia, Indonesia, Australia. everywhere, and then you battle it out in the big ultimate finals, and then have an online voting to see who is the better optional to win. I think that would be so fun. But we have to see. Eurovision Asia was apparently just a rumor, like I said, now for the 13th time, but we shall see. Anyway, let's talk about the big elephant in the Eurovision world at the moment, and that is Israel. Israel is still continuing on to be a big Eurovision, big pink elephant, because I think ever since take up the video on where was it? EBU HQ. They posted a video 2 days ago with video, and let's see what is said here. EBU members have combined the resources and expertise to document the famine in Gaza, where Israeli authorities have barred foreign media. Local Palestinian journalists, themselves enduring hunger and the danger of war, gathered the footage and interview, which was released simultaneously today by public service broadcaster. We repeat our demand for Israel to allow unrestricted access to Gaza for foreign journalists, and note that 29 countries have now signed a media freedom coalition statement making the same call. The EBU thanks all journalists who make this collaborative project possible, despite great risk and a daily hardship. Read more in the link in the bio. And reading the comment section underneath that post, pretty much everyone is saying that Israel should be banned. And and then ESC Daily News have another statement. They posted, EBU has published a video on the humanitarian crisis that has been in Gaza for a long time. Is it almost like 2 years now? Judging the Israeli government for the non-entry of journalists into the area. It is a war zone. What do you expect? EBU members have combined the statement that EBU HQ posted. We can take it again. EBU members have combined the resources and expertise to document the famine in Gaza, while Israeli authorities has barred foreign media. Local Palestinian journalists, themselves enduring hunger and the danger of war, gathered the footage and interviews, which were released simultaneously by the public service broadcaster. The EBU thanks all journalists who made the collaborative project possible, despite the risk and daily hardship. And the Israeli broadcaster Khan did not respond to the post, and calling to the General Assembly, which withdrawal from Eurovision Song Contest will be for 1 year. So if I read this statement correctly, if Israel is banned, it will be just for a 1 year thing. Okay, and then we have the outspoken ongoing conflict with Bambi Thug, who refuses to sing her Eurovision 2024 entry Doomsday Blues until Israel is disqualified from Eurovision. If one day they get their acts together and kick Israel out of the competition, then I will sing it again. She's boycotting. Because of the state of the world and because of the state of the competition, I am boycotting that song, she said during a concert. And she's, I don't know, Bambi Thug should have several seats and actually relax because to me, she is, well, wait, I had that post up. Yeah, I have that post, yes. Because I actually did a Google search on this, Bambi Thug's social media game. And she should actually be very happy that she actually did Eurovision. Because, yeah, let's see here. What does it say? Wait, this is not the same post I had up until... yeah, I think I need to wait. Social media game. Oh, I have that song. I have that. Nothing works for me today. Anyway, I mean, I'm gonna say, I think I read somewhere the fact that with Eurovision she gained over hundreds of thousands of followers on her social media again, and I think her Spotify increases in 82% more in more listenings, like 82% more in listenings, 82% more increase more in listening streams on Spotify. I think she gained, just based on Eurovision, she gained pretty much all of her followers, like it was like over 200,000. Yeah, I mean, so the increased exposure led to a significant influx of new fans. While specific numbers are not available in this data, the example of the Instagram shows a substantial numbers of followers, which over 231,000 as of provided search result. So yeah, I'm gonna say thanks to Eurovision she gained a lot of fans. So she should actually be very thankful she did Eurovision, because without Eurovision I don't think many of us would ever even know who Bambi Thug was. But hey, you cannot thank the competition who actually gave you a platform. But what do I know? I mean, here's the thing. With that statement, I did my, where is that? Here, I mean, I did my shorts video about the other day reading this post from ES Daily, and the comment section underneath that post was actually very telling, because this is a very divided subject and public, and this is a very divided topic, because many people are calling for Israel to be banned. I think if Israel is forced to withdraw from the competition, they are never coming back. Because, yeah, I hope you're okay with me reading this, because what some said here in the comment section, I know you're very outspoken. So anyway, the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, this is one of the comments. The humanitarian crisis in Gaza is not because of Israel. With all respect, it is a war zone. Israel is doing more than other countries ever did during wartime to make sure civilians won't be hurt. If 1,000 people repeat a lie, it is always will be a lie. If you get comfort repeatedly from watching anti-Israeli channels, what are the chances you will know the truth? If the UN hiring teachers, they are also Hamas terrorists, would you support the UN? If a network has reported journalists that their second job is being Hamas terrorists, would you trust them? If an activist such as Greta Thunberg, the climate warrior, refused to watch the vid from the terrorist body cam from October 7th, would you take her as a neutral human being? If you repeat lies, not paying attention to the thousands of truth speakers that are not loud, nor aggressive, nor violent of the hate motivated, if you ignore them, then you are simply anti-Semite, and you just found another reason to hate Israel. And this person sum up their whole thing with, I will be clear, if Israel will be forced to withdraw or ban from Eurovision 2025, the people of Israel will not allow Khan as the public broadcaster to be part of this hate circus ever again. Enough is enough. Look for another scapegoat. It is 2026 and Israel is a proud nation that needs no approval. Israel knows its worth and needs no favor from Ireland, Spain, Slovenia or any other country. Ooh, that is a mic drop statement if I ever read one. I mean, this is the... and I have another comment on that post. I can read that one too. Maybe we should just give Hamas a prize. That's it. Let's Hamas take part of Eurovision instead of Israel, and that's it. That would be the best. Yeah, pretty much at this point people want Hamas instead of Israel, because I don't know, maybe 60-70% of the Eurovision community wants Israel gone. Well, it's so hard to understand. Hamas, the terrorist organization, is the one keeping people of Gaza in this situation. It sees the food of trucks that enter, takes the good for itself, and sells only small portion to the residents at high prices. Hamas wants there to be a humanitarian crisis in order to win the war. That is more important to them than feeding the residents, and all the so-called humanitarians in Europe fall right in the trap. I mean, I was like a little bit dreading to do this podcast episode because I know many people have like accused me to be on the genocidal part. I mean that I support genocides. I was like, I have been pretty much very vocal about the fact that I want this conflict to end, but it feels like during my 25 years on my 36 years on this earth, and with it feels like with all if you take from 1989 up until now, it feels like this conflict is so different from other conflicts because, no, not gonna lie, we have had war conflicts and bigger conflicts with countries that are in Eurovision since the 90s, but I have not recalled one country being asked to leave Eurovision or not. And I think I will be more fine with this if people say that Israel is in conflict, war, they should withdraw for 1 year and come back when the war and conflict is over. I will be fine with that because you'll be like, okay, you take care of what's going on, you come back later on. But I think it is when people are cheering on the fact that people from Israel are assaulted and then be like, yay, they deserve it, and people saying that Israel doesn't deserve to exist as a country. I think that is when I draw the line and be like, you cheer on that? And no offense to people up front, I mean, that is what I feel this is so hard to have an opinion, because if you say the wrong opinion in this matter, people are gonna bombard you with comments saying that you are support genocidal. But the thing is that I think people need to take a step back, because I think this is the thing. If you know anything about corporate media, I think with media is a big part of the blame here, because if you know anything about media, they can control whatever opinion you have. Because if you're following people on TikTok, media, they can guide you into whatever opinion you have. And I think my opinion about this whole conflict, because I had to Google search this, because I remember a documentary I watched a year ago from the, let's see here, what is that? Let's see here, what was that? From the people should go in and look into the YouTuber Real Life Lore on YouTube, because I think that explains a lot how this conflict works. Because this is so, I'm gonna say, go into the Real Life Lore on YouTube and watch the documentary videos about Israel and Palestinian conflict and Iran. I think that explains a lot how I feel about this situation, because if you know anything about the Middle East conflicts, that it is the fact that they don't want Israel to exist anymore. And what better way, if you don't want to hear me talk yip-yapping about this more, you can pause this video right away and go to another video I will do, and we will see you later. But those of you who wants to hear my opinion, hey, I'm gonna say this is just a wild theory I have in my head, but what better way to isolate a country to make everyone around the world hate you than you create a humanitarian attacks, but you point the blame to the country you provoked and attacked first. Because ever since, when October 7th happened, many people were supporting Israel. It was so sorry for Israel, which it was, because October 7th was a nightmare. And we had Yuval Raphael for Israel, who was a survivor of October 7th. But then when Israel attacked back, which, many people are saying that, retaliation, I don't know what it's, revenge. That's an easier word to say. I think ever since that, when Israel strikes back, I think the shift of feeling pity for Israel was then into feel guilt, the fact that Israel are the enemy. I think what better way for those people in the Middle East to make sure that Israel is looked upon as the villain in this one and isolate Israel from the rest of the world. And when Israel stands completely alone from everyone else, they can finish Israel and diminish and make sure the country seeks to assist. I think this issue is so much deeper than just Eurovision. This issue is deeper than, and this issue with Israel and Palestine goes beyond what everyone imagined. And like this person said, with the fact that people like Greta Thunberg now going down in a convoy of ships with aid, I think that is all that I can be a little bit annoyed about Miss Greta Thunberg. I think she's just doing this for attention. She's an attention-seeking bee. But where is that lady there? I know people are gonna say that, you are like pro-propaganda, blah blah blah. But if you check out Bella Mai Bellucci on Instagram, this person was basically standing there surrounding with the aid that was supposed to go into the Gazan civilians, but UN and the bureaucracy missteps let the aid stand there in the sun for months. So I was like, but then how again is it Israel's fault? So this conflict is so beyond our imagination, and I think corporate media has spin the picture, and like this person said in the comment section, I think many of people has fallen into the trap. I think to sum it up, I know this is a long podcast episode and I'm talking about other stuff than Eurovision for once. I think, in my final opinion about this one, I think this is an orchestrated famine humanitarian crisis to make Israel look like the villain. In the end, do I think Israel has maybe go a little bit overboard? Sure, but they are defending the country because they have been defending their country for like ever. Why do we think they have the big military dome in when they have such a big military base? I know I'm just a young yip-yapping, but I think in the end, when we look back on this conflict in 20 years, I'm gonna say I think this was an orchestrated move by Gaza and Hamas to make Israel look like the villain, to make the world view Israel as the villain, to isolate Israel as a country, to make sure that the Middle East countries like Iran, Lebanon and Gaza and Hamas and everyone in the area can eliminate Israel as a country because they don't want Israel to exist. So I think in my personal opinion, I think this was an orchestrated famine, because what better way to make the people hate you to show pictures of people starving? And I think that is what's such a tragic. I think many has fallen into the trap, because I basically stopped talking to people about this because I can't take it. I cannot talk to people about these conflicts, and I don't know. I think, and also the sad part is that if Israel is forced to withdraw from Eurovision next coming years, I think we are looking at the end of Eurovision, because I know people out there are gonna say I'm lying, but I just talk about the stuff I see online and then I have my spin on it and I have my opinion. Because I think if Israel is forced to withdraw from Eurovision, I think we are looking at the end of Eurovision as a whole. I think with that, many countries will boycott Eurovision in support of Israel. And that will be the downfall of Eurovision. And I'm gonna say, if Israel is banned from Eurovision, I'm gonna hope those pro-Palestinian people... Oh god, I forget to talk about that one too. Anyway, I think those pro-Palestinian people, not better... If Israel is not in Eurovision 2026, those pro-Palestinian people better not show up in Vienna, because you got your wish, Israel is gone, what more do you want? Wait. I'm gonna say, I did a video about this a few days ago when the pro-Palestinian activist storms the Orff Center in Vienna, but Vienna promises neutrality for Eurovision, and the fact that Vienna is amping up. There's so much I can talk about. Gosh, and I think that Eurovision, Austria is stepping up on the security, because they know after the Taylor Swift concert, the threat against that, the Vienna they know what is ahead, and I think Vienna is stepping up security. But if Israel is forced to withdraw from competition, those pro-Palestinian people better not show up in Vienna, because you made Eurovision 2024 and 2025 into chaos. So yeah, anyway, this is my hot take on this whole mess. But yeah, I have to talk about it, because Eurovision is not all songs and rainbows, because apparently at this time Eurovision is much more difficult to talk about. And yeah, this was a long episode, but anyway, this is my hot take on everything. You may not agree with me, it's okay, we can disagree we can agree or disagree in the comment section, but that's having an opinion. It's my opinion, as Tamara Judge would say. But anyway, thanks for listening to me deep yapping, and let's talk more Eurovision stuff or Intervision or something. But anyway, have a nice day. Mwah.